Yo, 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 YouTube. Welcome back to the Dollar Box Live. I'm trying this from a little bit different location this time. So I'm gonna have to play with the lighting a bit. It might show up a little bright. It seems a little better. All right. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about some of the news, hobby news, and things that are going on, as well as talk a little bit about why we collect, why I collect anyway, and hopefully we'll have some others jump in and share their stories as well. The other thing I wanted to talk about was a big release coming up as far as football cards go, and actually one big baseball card release as well. So let's actually start right there. The football release is actually flawless. The 2021 flawless is coming out. I know we just had Prism, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I wanted to talk about the flawless. So it looks like it's going to be pretty consistent with previous prices. Printing doesn't seem to be any different than it was in the past, or at least in the past year or two. I'm just looking through here. Lots of different parallels, of course. There's nothing in it like the basketball release that has the triple, had the triple logo man, LeBron James. So, a super chase card. Actually, I might just turn this light off. Is that better? Sure. So there's really nothing big in it like that, but there is lots of cards numbered to 25 or less. I mean, you kind of know the gist of what Flawless looks like for a set. The other big release, which I think is really interesting, is by Topps, and it's a baseball product. So it is baseball or Topps Chrome Cosmic. I'm going to pull that up here. So Cosmic Chrome Baseball. Is this something that any of you are interested in? I think it sounds pretty cool. It looks really cool. It just kind of has that spacey, swirly, sort of background to it. And then it's chrome, so you kind of get the best of all the worlds. To me, it's almost like it's going to be like the Phoenix of baseball, if you want to call it that. I try to compare things to football because that's what I generally buy and collect. But there's, of course, refractors, and there's a nucleus refractor, which is supposed to kind of look like atoms circling around a nucleus. So I don't know. We can give that a shot, I suppose, and see what it looks like. That's better. Okay. And then there's the Blue Moon refractors, which are numbered to 99. Gold refractors out of 50. Orange Galactic. Black Eclipse refractor, which is numbered to 10. So those will be pretty popular. Red Flare to 5, and then the Super Fractor is in there as well. I don't know if the Super Fractor is going to look different, or it's going to be the normal kind of goldish, the gold vinyl, the Super Fractor we're used to, if you want to put it that way. But that looks like a pretty cool product release. I don't know if that's something anybody's going to be looking for, but I was really surprised when I saw that. It's just screamed 90s to me, which of course is my... that's my mainstay for buying cards, which kind of gets back to my main topic for tonight. But before we get to that, I want to talk about Prism. So now that Prism Football's been out for a week and a couple days, ooh, big thunder here. Has anybody ripped any? How have you done? I've heard a lot of complaints. There's obviously not value in most of the $1,300 first off the line boxes, not pulling a lot of like the big names and the lower numbered parallels and such, but also a lot of boxes like not having any autographs, things like that. Very strange. So it seems like there's a lot of disappointment out there. Obviously, if you hit something big, you're fine, but looks like a lot of people spent $5,000-$6,000 on boxes and didn't really get anything. Which would make me a little upset, especially a product you've had to wait and wait and wait and wait for. Hopefully hold on to some of that stuff long run. we got a great quarterback class this past year. Hopefully it'll do well. But anyway, so for my thumbnail for this video, I have the little rain cloud in the corner. A couple reasons. One, it's raining here. Been raining most of the day today, actually, to put my tops back on the Jeep, unfortunately. Hey Zach, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. The other reason is I tried to get, I know retail popped today for Prism at a lot of places. I've seen some videos opening. I've seen the blaster boxes, which have like the special parallel in them, stuff like that. And hi Kalmush, I think I pronounced that correctly. If not, let me know. But anyway, so I checked there real early today. Had to pick up some stuff for my daughter for back to school items. So I thought, I'm gonna hit the Target early and see if I can get some Prism. Didn't have any luck, unfortunately. Actually, a lot of the products that were sitting in my Target the last couple weeks were now bought up. So I don't know, because it's summer, and, you know, people are getting back in. I don't know what the deal is, but has any of you had any of that experience where a lot of the retail that was sitting is now selling? Maybe a lot of people were waiting for Prism. It wasn't coming, so they were buying whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so that's my rainy, cloudy day. Literally rainy and cloudy, and I did not score any Prism yet. I'm gonna still try. I think the retail is a decent value. You know, if you can get a blaster box for 25, 30 bucks. A Mega Box would be awesome, because I think there's another special parallel in there, and maybe you get a mem or auto in it, I believe. Probably a mem, but decent box. And I think those are like 50, I want to say 50 or 55 at Target. Anyway, no luck. I didn't catch any on the like online release or anything. Didn't order any online, so I just tried the store today and find anything. So before we get any further, let's see, Walgreen. Let me read this comment here. Walgreens has lots of optic baseball blaster boxes. Yeah, I've seen the non-licensed baseball stuff, even like baseball Prism sitting around, the cello packs, stuff like that. Blasters. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like anybody wants the retail of the unlicensed baseball products. So something to think about going forward, I suppose. I don't buy any of that myself either. So, I mean, I bought a bunch of 2020 retail Prism blasters for baseball, but I got them for $10 a piece when my local LCS was doing a grand opening. That's where I got those at. So let's do a little show and tell. I got a couple pieces of mail today. I think instead of, for a while I was kind of saving up some mail and then doing like a mail day video, but then I would get behind, and I'm actually not buying as much right now. I have so much inventory, I'm just trying to sell things more than anything. But I think what I'm going to do is on the lives, that's when I'm going to open the mail and see what came in. So let me take a look at this. Some of it's going to be PC, some of it's going to be flip stuff. I don't have anything real exciting today. I do have some nice bigger lots that I was able to get a hold of. Some cool stuff, some wrestling, some key rookie cards for some Hall of Famers, things like that, and stuff that I haven't really bought much of. I have bought recently, so each week hopefully we'll get some cool new stuff to show. Okay, so it's in a yellow top load, of course, but yeah, it's going to be backwards because that's how my film comes in. But this is the Brett Favre, and I don't think I can switch this around, can I? Nope. Then you just see the back of my shooting area. This is the 92 Stadium Club rookie. I buy these. I've flipped probably 25 or 30 of these in the last few years, but I buy these for, basically my budget on these is $35, and I sell them almost instantly for $60. So whenever I can find them and I can get the price I want for them. I think I had to pay some shipping for this one, so I might ask a little bit more. I might do, and I don't have any in stock right now, so I might ask more and let this, even if I have to sit on it for a bit, it would be it'll be worth it. So that was a nice buy. Just a quick, easy. I know that card so well that as soon as I can get it for the right price, I buy it. And I got this little padded envelope package here. Let's see what's in this one. Good packaging, at least on both of these items, so that's always encouraging. This little pack here. And oh yeah, this is some Brady stuff. This is a 4-card Brady lot, so I've got a, is this 03? 04 SPX. So some earlier just base stuff. These are, I don't have any of these in stock, any of these 4 cards, so this was a worthwhile purchase. There's another 04. That's the Diamond Collection, Upper Deck Diamond Collection. If you can see that okay. And then 2 of these Turkey Red. The Turkey Red stuff does really well. It was a super amazing set that Topps did when they still had a license for they only made it for a couple of years. It's got the really cool cigarette pack style backs, and they just sell really well. It's got kind of like a canvas feel on the front of it. If you don't know what these cards are, that's what they are. But this is 2005, I want to say. Yeah, 2005. Turkey Reds, and these are, if you notice, they're the same card, but not really. The backgrounds are different. So that was one thing that they kind of did cool with these cards. Kind of like the old tobacco cards. They had, some of them had different photography, some of them had like ads on the back or red backs. And it was just an amazing set. So whenever I get them, I list them pretty high because I think they're cool and they should do well. And they do. They sell. So a nice little 4-card lot there. All stuff for resale, no PC on that one. Turkey Reds are very nice. I've never seen the football Reds, just baseball. Cool variation with the backgrounds. Yeah, that, I think that's the key to them, is just that. Yeah, I'm going to take one out so you can kind of, maybe you can see it a little bit better if it's not in the top level. You can see it's almost got like a, best way I can describe it is it's got like a pigskin kind of texture on the front, almost like a leather texture to it. But it's kind of this really neat, framed, artsy looking, picture, and it has, like I said, the different backgrounds. Again, you can see this one has the stadium with the red seats in it, and then this one has the more like bleacher style stadium. So pretty cool that got both variations in there. It's nice for showing it off. Oh, my sleeve went. Oh, it's in here. So that's my mail day for today. All right. Let's see what else we want to bring up here. Let me just get back to my notes here. Okay, so the main theme of the show that I wanted to talk about today is, why do you collect? I think, I'm guilty of this as well. I think sometimes we focus a lot on profits. I mean, even just now I was talking about resale and things like that. And I think all that's important, especially because that's the best way to grow your collection, expand your inventory, so on. But there is a reason that you are in this hobby outside of that. There has to be. If you're just in it to make a buck, I don't know that you'd last that long, because it's work and the hobby is down right now value-wise, as most things are, but it costs a lot to get into. You're not going to do it unless you get some kind of enjoyment out of it. So for me, I'm 44 years old, and I started when I was a kid, probably 7 or 8 years old. My uncle came to live with us. I think I told this story a little bit last time. It's just a high-level overview. My much younger than my mom uncle moved in with us, and he was an avid baseball collector. So he would buy a couple Topps boxes. I mean, Topps boxes were what, $20 back then when they came out. This was like mid-'80s. And we'd sit on the living room floor and we'd sort them out, and he'd put them in number order, and I was hooked. That was it right there. And then he was showing me some of his older cards he had and telling me how much they were worth. He actually gave me a 69 Mickey Mantle. At the time it was worth like $30, and I thought I was rich, which now that Mickey Mantle's probably a couple thousand, I don't know. But he said, here, I'll give you this and you do whatever you want with it. You sell it, you trade it, bring it to a show, whatever. Use this to start your own collection. So that's what I did. I didn't hold on to the Mickey Mantle because I didn't know any better at the time, but that's okay because I got into some other stuff. Then Mr. Favre came to the Packers and played there basically forever, and he played all through the 90s and the early 2000s, which in my opinion were the best years ever of cards as far as art style and textures and tech and plenty of quantity, which of course was in hindsight a little bit of a downfall to some of those sets, but just loved them. Thought they were great. Lots of 90s, great 90s inserts. And this sort of popped in my head because I was reading an article about the Fleer Ultra Scoring Kings, the basketball ones, where it's got like it's Fleer Ultra, and then it's got like the Jordan one's got like Jordan jumping, and there's all the lightning coming down and stuff. And I remember those cards. I remember when they came out, and you could get the Jordans for like $10, which they're hundreds now, I believe. But they were a little bit of a tough pull, but there was enough product out there and people were opening it for pretty cheap that you could get the ones that you wanted. So that's what got me into collecting. What about you guys? Why did you decide to start collecting or investing for that matter? If you don't collect at all, why did you get into the hobby, period? Whatever your motivation is. Another set I was just recently looking at was Donruss Studio, and for those who don't know, it was kind of the same thing. It was supposed to look like a sit-down photography shot picture. That is the name, not Ultra Fleer or Ultra. Yeah, right. I know I've heard people say it the wrong way too, Zach. So yeah, nope, it's Fleer Ultra. It literally says it on the pack, Fleer, and Ultra underneath, and on the card for that matter. But Donruss Studio was an amazing little product. It was kind of supposed to be photo studio shots type thing of players, supposed to be a little more intimate and had players smiling and posing and having weird stuff like their pet bird on their shoulder, things like that. And I was thinking about that set too, and I don't even know if you could do something like that nowadays because you don't have any. There's no personal time with the players. It's got to be shots in the game kind of stuff. Or for rookies it's all warm-ups or draft day stuff or whatever. So Donruss Studio ended in I think 2004 2005, and that was just an amazing set at the time. And then the other one is my favorite basketball set, the Dunkin' Donuts. Zach says I'm 42, collected until 94ish, rejoined now. I lost it. Hold on, let me pull that chat up. Let's see. 1 year old in 2020. 1 year old in 20. Oh, junk era cards and the 90s cards I missed out on. Yeah, you're probably following along the same lines as me that way. I think we're kind of that age group that's sort of coming back around to it. Everybody, when we were young, collected. And 93 Studios, a box he picked up. I love that stuff. It's not really worth anything. And, a couple of the main players, I find them in quarter boxes and stuff. And you can flip them here and there, but yeah, they didn't really hold much. It wasn't really inserts or anything like that. It was just a stylized set. Oh, 9 years old. Okay, that makes a lot more sense than 1 year old. But anyway, the Dunkin' Donuts set, Dunk and Go Nuts is what it was called. It's supposed to look like the Dunkin' Donuts logo. It's a clear acetate. It's got a nice picture of the player dunking, of course, on it. And just those 90 sets are just crazy awesome. So those were a few of the sets on my mind. Obviously, my favorite cards of all time are the wild card stripes. I'm a very avid collector of the Brett Favre ones. As a matter of fact, ironically enough, I was just talking to a fellow collector, friend of mine, and a couple of the key Favre wildcard stripe cards were up recently. They weren't listed correctly. It didn't say stripe in the listing. It said it was a 5 stripe, and it said out of 5, which is not accurate at all. They're not serial numbered. It's just a parallel, if you want to call it in today's universe. But there was a silver stripe. Let me get this right. Silver stripe, or silver foil, 50 stripe, Field Force insert that went for $402. So for those who don't know, that set comes in base silver and gold foil, and then it comes in the stripes of 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and 1,000. And I actually have the rarest one of all of them. I have the gold foil 1,000 stripe. So I was just contemplating, well, if the 50 stripe silver went for 400, what would be my 1,000 stripe gold foil card? So any thoughts? Does anybody have any idea where you think it would mark at? I have an idea of what I know what I paid for it. First of all, it was more than $400. And I think I know where the market would land on it, but I'm just interested. For a listing that wasn't listed correctly, these never really come up for auction. And then to do as well as it did from not a known seller, things like that, I feel like, I could really push the envelope with the gold foil one. But anyway, if anybody wants to chime in and tell me what you would think that would sell for, I'd appreciate it. If you want, I can grab it quick and show it to you. It's right behind me too. So I didn't think of that before the video, and I don't necessarily want to, just walk away from the video if nobody wants to see it. But it's a pretty neat card. So the other thing that came out this week, kind of back to releases and looking for some on shelves, was the Bowman Mega Box. I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, but I passed on it when I saw it. There was a few in the Target. Of course, when I went back today, they're all gone. Just the fat packs, I believe, were there. I heard it was actually a pretty nice product this year, so I might pick some of that up as my baseball product. I mean, Bowman's kind of the standard. I really like the sapphire stuff and the look of the sapphire, so that might be something I would want to get at some point, or maybe the soccer sapphire. I really like that stuff the most. The soccer sapphire release that came out last year was not that good, so I didn't buy any, especially for the price. But I'm hoping they'll have maybe a sapphire World Cup set would be pretty cool, since the World Cup's next year. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm really excited for the soccer products. So one thing I did buy soccer-wise, let me see if I can find it in here. So these little tins are pretty awesome. I might have shown one of these in one of my videos. This is the Attack Superhero Squad. So you get these 3 limited edition superhero cards. So you get Benzema, Lukaku, and Lewandowski. And then you get a 3-player card of the PSG stars. So that would be Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar on it. And these are $15 at Target. So you get 66 cards, I want to say. You get a bunch of different inserts and, base cards and things like that. You get the cool tin. And then you get those limited edition cards I just talked about. Well, I sold one of the Triple Hero Squad cards for $12. So for $2 more, I got another whole tin. So it's my second one. I like these cards. These game cards. They're fairly inexpensive, and they do sell, and they look cool. So that was my big Target purchase. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about show and tell. Obviously, I showed some cards I got in the mail, but I have some cards from my collection I'd like to show. So a few months back, I started doing a video series of my best cards and cards I collect and stuff. And I kind of stopped at my true PC, which is my far stuff, because I have so much of it and I wanted to show off so much of it. I'd have to do like, I have like 700 and some cards that I'm waiting to grade even. And I just had so many cards that I didn't feel like I wanted to make 10 videos out of it. I thought it would be overkill. But I do have a stack of some of that stuff set aside. And I thought I would show you a few of my favorite cards tonight. So let me go grab those real quick. Be right back. All right, so we'll start with this little stack here first. So I like some of the oddball stuff, and I like the stuff that I think is undervalued or hasn't had a played value yet. And one of them is non-jersey material, game used, of course, material cards. So this is a shoe card, game used shoe. And it's pretty cool because it even has a picture of the shoes on the back that they were actually taken from. It's numbered out of 135, if you can see that backwards, which is okay, not the super lowest, but just the cool fabric from the shoe. And I just don't think you're ever going to see stuff like that again. Almost all the material cards that you can get in products now aren't even game used, or even player worn for that matter. So seeing something like game used shoes cut up is just not going to be realistic. And then some multi. Thanks, Zach. Some multi jersey cards. Again, pretty rare thing. This is a quad. So it's got Antonio Freeman, Brett, and of course I liked this copy the most because it had the 3-color for Brett. And it's got Amon Green and who's on the bottom there? David Martin, who was like a tight end for like a season or two. But 4 pieces of jersey, 4 unique pieces. So you've got the yellow, which is of course, on the sleeve here from the uniform. Then you've got the kind of the stretchy fabric that goes around the arm in the tricolor. Then you've got green back here and white back here. So just a really nice example of, bunch of different colors, different players, and they're all game used. And this was 2002. So if you're a Packer fan, that's a pretty good one to have. I don't buy a lot of autographs. I guess I don't see the point in having like 35 autographs of the same player, but I did buy this one and I got a really good deal on it. I'm actually going to take it out because it'll be easier to see. So I did get this Sweet Spot autograph. Now what I liked about these is it's got like a 3D emblem of the helmet, and then it's got Brett's signature on there. Authentic, on card, if you want to call that a part of the card. But they just look cool. I mean, it looks like an autographed mini helmet. And I got this, I think I paid $75 for this for a Favre auto. Crazy. It's not numbered, there's a gold parallel version, which I don't really care. I mean, it's got the same auto on it, so. This was kind of an interesting set. This is from 2003 NFL Patch Collection by Upper Deck. So they actually made an entire set of cards where the entire card, like photo of the player, is framed out by an actual patch. Manufactured, of course. It's not like from a jersey or anything like that, but just really cool and unique. Now, it's, again, something you don't see today. Let's see, what else do I have in here? This one's one of my favorites. This is the Atomic. So, and you can see I've got some prices on there. I did have some of these at a card show. So this is the Atomic Best Cuts die cut. So it's got this really cool laser cut, on the front and the back there that you can see, and then it's the atomic refractor material on the front. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's skip to some pretty cool ones. This one is one of my favorites from let's see. This is actually not even the lowest numbered version of this parallel, but I think it looks the best because it's green and gold. This is 98 Donruss Preferred, I believe, but it's the Crusade insert. So very refractory. It's green on the one side, yellow on the other. So, you know, team colors, jersey match, whatever you want to call it. Let me see if I can get. Yeah, that's not really helping. I'm getting the reflection anyway, but really cool card, numbered out of 250. These are pretty rare. You don't see them very often at all. They get snapped up quick. And here's another one that you really don't see very often. This is the Fleer Brilliance from 1998. And then this is what they call the Pulsar Parallel. Very, very, very refractory. Shiny. You can see it says Pulsar up there. These are great looking cards as just a base card. And then, yeah, you add the Pulsar refractor tech, whatever you want to call it, on top of it, and you really got something. These are actually pretty rare, and I think I have to start looking for more money on this one if I am going to sell it, because this is actually the lowest numbered card in the 90s for Brett Favre. Serial numbered card, that is. This is the 1998 Contenders, which is a very important set anyway. It's kind of the first year of the traditional looking Contenders you still see today. This is the gold foil parallel, and it's numbered out of 25. So this one is, let's see if I can, so this one is 25 out of 25. If you can see that, there we go. So very cool card. Like I said, don't really see this very often. And yeah, 25 copies of a card in 1998 was super rare. This one is kind of rare. I mean, I've had quite a few copies of these back and forth. Had some graded ones. This is the Hot Hands. So this is from Flair. I'm actually going to take this out of here. Yeah, it helps with the glare a little bit. But it's got this really cool, like, texture to it. So Flair has, you know, that really smooth, shiny surface. And then, of course, it's, you know, the flames are all the die-cut shape and everything. Just a very, very cool card. They can be difficult to grade because of the die cuts, but I've had a 9 and a 10 before, so not impossible by any means. And then, let's see. Here's a set that I think is extremely underrated. Again, seem to be kind of coming up a bit more now, but this is the Pristine. So this is 02, I think. Yeah, 2002. Pristine. This is the gold refractor. Again, one of the things, I mean, gold is always big anyway in pretty much every player, but I like it even more on the Favre stuff because of the gold uniform. So you get this nice gold G in the back, goes with the pants and the helmet, and a nice kind of gold rainbow over the top. It's got that nice refractor to it. The serrated edges, and then it is numbered out of 79. So these are, see if you can see that there, 79. So these are pretty rare as well. So you can kind of see the theme here. The rarity matters. This one is, so one of my favorite super rare insert sets of the 90s is Flair Legacy. But I think this one is my favorite one. I know everybody likes the 97s, which I do have those too. I don't know if they're in here. I might have to take that out another day. But this is the, is this 99, I think? Yeah, this is 1999. But I just love it with the triple photos. And then it's got the numbering nice and big on the front, easy to read. I like that. And it's got the legacy here. Everything's in the blue foil, so you know that it's the rare legacy version. And I just think that's an amazing looking card. Got to get that one slabbed because it'll look sweet in a slab. It's in really, really good condition too, so I think it'll do well. This is another kind of rare one. This comes in a couple different versions. So this is the, oh boy, this is 98, I think. Yeah, 98. So this is the gold. So what they did in this set was they made a bronze, a silver, and a gold of each player in the set. So this is the gold version, so it's rare right there. Then they made a die cut of the rare, so that makes it more rare. Then they made an embossed die cut, which is what this one is. They also make a refractor embossed die cut, which I do not have. Still chasing that one, but that's a pretty rare pull of a good player. This one is cool. I really like the throwback style stuff. So one of the things I love about this card is a card I've been chasing for a long time is the Topps 57 Bart Starr rookie. So when they did the archive set and they did it over with the 1957 design, I just fell for it. Now this is the Heritage Chrome version, which of course they wouldn't have had Chrome in 57, but I think it looks amazing with it. And then this is the refractor. So you get this really nice, kind of bluish background in the close-up, and then kind of this reddish orange background on the other side. And just think it's an amazing card. And this is numbered out of, I don't know why, but 557. 557. So not the lowest numbering, but those are extremely rare to come by. Here's another good one. For those of you like 90s inserts, this is going to be up your alley. You've probably seen the basketball ones featured more than this, but this is the Cut Above from 97 Skybox EX. In my opinion, 1997 was the greatest year of sports cards in the history of sports cards, as far as cool cards, rarity, tech, inserts, art, artistic, and Fleer was right up at the top. They had an amazing designer team at the time, and they just made some really good stuff. So it's a tough pull, hard to keep in nice shape with all the die cut edges, and just fire in front of a saw blade. I mean, how do you want more than that, right? I mean, that's it right there. So I'm just going to show a couple more. Maybe I'll save some for the next video. So this one also screams very 90s. And this one isn't that valuable because there are a couple backdoor copies of this card as well. So it is a one of one, but there's more than one of one, if that makes any sense. So the normal card just kind of has like little foil here, and this has like this textured refractor kind of foil to it. Maybe it'll be better if I take this one out and you can see it. So it's just it's really cool. And then it's got this little refractor foil stamp there. And then on the back it does say one of one. The normal ones I think are numbered out of, there's one of one. The normal ones I think are numbered out of 1,000. So yeah, but very 90s looking, right? It's this big X with some lightning and Brett and die cuts and Dufek style rainbow foil, and it's got all the bells and whistles to it. Now that's from Proline DC. I get it, that's not a very great brand, and so it doesn't have a ton of value, but I don't care. It's a really cool looking card, and it is rare. Let's see if I've got my 1,000 stripe here. I'm gonna kind of show that one off if I could get to it real quick. I do have other stripes here, but I wanted to show you that one just since I was talking about it. And it is a pretty big card. Let's see, it must be over here. There it is. Lifted right up to it. So this is probably my, I don't know. It's funny. I have the rookie 1,000 stripe in an 8.5 or a BGS 9. I think I have it in a 9. But I actually think this is a bigger card. I've never seen this card ever. There has never been one graded. And I think this is the ringer right here. So this is The 92, yep, the 92, what were these called? Field Force. I think they were called Field Force. Doesn't really say on the front, but anyway, so it was this insert. It's not the base or the silver foil, it's the gold foil, which is the toughest, and then 1000 stripe. So it's got the gold foil, it's got the hologram, authenticating hologram, it's got the gold foil on the wild card on the back. So it's, 100% legit, centered pretty well. I mean, something that definitely has to be graded. But I think based on the silver 50 stripe that wasn't listed correctly, selling for $402, I would estimate this at about 20 grand. Especially if it grades out nice. I mean, it's in really nice shape and stuff. All the foil is there, which sometimes these can have a little problem with the foil, but just a crazy, crazy, crazy good card. So that's it for that. I'm going to show you today for 5 cards. Maybe I'll show all my stripes, in another live or another video or something. But I got some pretty big bangers. I've been able to improve my collection quite a bit over the last year. So what do you guys collect, and what are you chasing? What are your grails, if you want to call them that? I had no idea this card even existed, and it popped up actually with some other 1000 stripe Favs, which I couldn't afford all of them at once, so Buddy and I kind of split it, if you will, and we're both very happy. So he got the 1000 stripe base and the 1000 stripe silver, and then I took the 1000 stripe gold. I knew that was by far the rarest card. As far as I know, the rarest Favre card ever. And I just recently, if you saw my Green Bay card show video, I recently just sold a card numbered out of 30. A gold, what was that? Not Zenith. Certified. A gold certified parallel numbered out of 30. 0030 was this is how the serial numbering looked. Got a good price for it, and I hardly paid anything for it. I had somebody who's basically giving it away on eBay, so I bought it a couple years ago, and made a nice return out of that one. So that's it for basically for what I wanted to talk about today. Went over some news and notes, some things to look forward to. I'm not sure when that triple logo man is going up for auction. I was trying to look that up earlier today, but it doesn't really have a date, so I don't know if they're kind of waiting to close the auction out and get the item in there. But let's see, triple logo man set for auction. They put it on display during a media event on Tuesday. I think that was Tuesday of last week. Obviously, we haven't hit Tuesday yet. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But some people say it's worth $6 million. Some people say I wouldn't pay $100,000 for that. It's not used from any significant game. It is, which I didn't know this until yesterday, but it is one jersey from the Cavs, one jersey from the Heat, one jersey from the Lakers. So that to me makes it a little bit cooler, but I'm thinking maybe 600,000, 800,000, somewhere in there. I can't imagine it would go a lot more than that. No, I was watching the one of the podcasts with Card Collector 2 on. I can't think of the name of the show, but anyway, they did talk about protecting the downside, that somebody's going to pay enough for it just to make sure that it sells high enough, because they're holding other significant LeBron cards, and they don't want that one to sell cheap enough so that they can't get the value from it. It's from each finals, I do believe. It does not specify it's from finals. Let's see, what did that say? I just finished getting a graded copy of every Paul Molinder Topps card as a brewer. Wow, that's pretty cool. Matt, I might have met, were you at the Green Bay card show? You might have bought some Paul Molinder stuff off of me. I did have somebody come and buy Paul Molinder stuff, so that's pretty cool. Paul Molinder was a pretty amazing player. I think he's completely underrated. He was kind of one of those early five tool guys. Didn't really get a lot of respect. He kind of reminded me of like an Ozzie Smith, maybe. Although he's a little bit better hitter than Ozzie Smith, but uh, such a great, such a great player. Not just with Milwaukee, he was with Toronto for a little while and Minnesota, I believe. And yeah, he was never stirred the pot. You know, always came to play. Um, I was there, but I did not buy any Molitors from you. Okay. Um, yeah. So just kind of I agree with you. I think that's a cool player to collect. Stuff's not super expensive, so it works great into a budget. You can get some of his more rare pieces, probably a little bit more attainable, a little bit more affordable. So that's all really good news when you're trying to decide who you're going to collect and how you fit that into everything you have to buy. So Favre's taken me a lot of years because he's in a ton of stuff. He's got a ton of parallels. He was in years where the shorter printed stuff is really expensive. And of course, he's a Hall of Famer and all that good stuff. So um, I've been patient, been able to find the stuff that I need to get. I'm trying, I've gotten good prices on things. Um, and I've sold stuff. To be honest with you, I mean, I'd love to hang on to everything, but sometimes you gotta sell stuff. Probably an easier guy to collect. IPC Fisk, and there are very few. My chat disappears so fast. I don't know why. Let me pull that back up. And there are very few people digging on Carlton Fisk. Yeah. Again, kind of one of those guys. Baseball's strange that way. It doesn't even really matter if you're a Hall of Famer or if you won a bunch of World Series or had some kind of impact. It seems to be more of a popularity thing with baseball as far as who gets collected and who doesn't. 72 Tops rookie. I was able to trade for it on TCDB. What is TCDB? Trading Card Database, I think, right? I do believe I've been on there before, if that's what it is. That's pretty cool. That's nice that you were able to trade for it. Sometimes that's nicer than always pumping out money or having to sell something to get something. So I don't know if I've ever seen a Molitor rookie, so I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how many are out there. I mean, if it's from 72, it's not in plenty by any means. Not like, I mean, I literally have a binder of like 5 to 700 Brett Favre rookie cards because they're so common. Trading card database. Yep, yep, yep. So awesome. You know what I need to do is probably get on there and maybe look at doing some trades and things. I kind of forget about trading card database. I used to go there once in a while when I kind of got back in, but I don't know. I found eBay an easier place for me to work with. I have to sell on there, might as well buy on there. The feedback is helpful. I like their protection. Now, if you do anything over 250, you get the authenticity and all that stuff. I don't know. The fees suck. I get it. I understand why people don't do stuff on there. And I've done Facebook stuff. I've bought things on off of Instagram, and I've played the game in a lot of different places. Especially if you're looking for something rare, you kind of got to go wherever you can find it. But Matt says he has 18 graded Favre cards from 91 to 93, 8s and 9s. Awesome. I love anything Favre graded. Um, when I got back into the hobby in late 2016, I kind of saw a new light in the hobby with the graded cards. And to me, that was where the investment vehicle was because you could essentially serial number each card. You knew how many were out there, at least at the time, for population. And I knew grading fees would never go down. They would only go up over time. And then that would automatically, people say it doesn't affect the price of an already graded card. I don't buy that in the least because there's so many registry people that are on PSA just for the registry, and a lot of people who want to make sure that they're competing in the registry and they're getting things they don't have and so forth. So if let's say I'll just take this card. Let's say this is a $10 card, and I grade it for $8, right? So I got $18. Let's say I paid 10 for it. I got $18 in it. So the PSA, it comes back PSA 10. Figure you get $25 for it, right? So there's a little bit of profit in it right away that way. Now let's say I paid $10 for it. 5 years later, I go to grade it. Now it's $50 to grade it. You don't think that this card's going to sell more already graded at that point? I think it does, because first of all, you're not going to see as many up for sale, because if they're not selling high enough, nobody's going to grade them. So that kind of stops the supply. Let's put it that way. Your pop isn't really going to grow if there's no margin in there. So over time, every single graded card, depending on what you paid for, is going to go up. With the amount of buying taking place online, graded cards seem safer, secure route for me. That's also a good point. So you have the registry, you have the preservation of the card, and Zach makes a good point. It also guarantees that you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. Well, it should anyway. We know that there's mistakes, and grading's not infallible. One of the things when I was at the the bigger Green Bay show, first time I set up in 30 years, by the way. That's why I reference that show a lot, because I don't do a lot of shows, well, any shows really, just that one. And I had a lot of comments from people who came to my table saying, well, why don't you grade that? You need to grade that. Send that in Super Express and get that graded. I'm kind of on the edge right now on getting stuff graded, because I think the price is too high. I think there's still a ton of cards sitting in a warehouse. There's too many mistakes. There's too many new graders. And I just don't want to, for the cost and everything, I just don't want to take a chance on it. My personal opinion, and there's going to be some old school people that are definitely going to disagree with me, but I think grading should all be done AI, some kind of robot grading. It takes all the bias out of it. It would be quick. The robot can see everything exactly black and white, not take feelings or emotions into it, or man, I had too much to eat at lunch and I'm a grader and I just want to get through this. Oh, I've seen 25 of these cards, I don't like any of them, I'm going to give them all an 8. Whatever the case may be. And I'm not accusing any of the graders of doing anything wrong or any of that, but humans are humans. So what I would really like to see is, I would like to see, and I'm kind of thinking that Nat Turner is going to go this route, since he was basically came out of like automation businesses that he sold. But I'm thinking what's going to happen is you're going to have a grading machine, right? So let's say these go out to your local card shops, and you go there, you stick your card in, you put your $20 bill in the machine, gets the card on the bed, it looks at it, it scans it, it does all its thing, it authenticates it, whatever, and then boom, slab comes down, sonic seals with the label in it, spits your card out. Old school and grading can't be said in the same breath. True. But to me, I think that's the best way to do it. It would keep it affordable. It wouldn't matter what card you were trying to grade. You wouldn't have all this shipping, storage in a warehouse, paying insurance, shipping it back. You get the wrong cards back, blah, blah, blah. I think that would be awesome. They just vending machine the shit out of it. Excuse my language, for those who get offended. But I think that that's going to be the right approach. Maybe they could get it down to like some sort of household size grading. I don't know. But I think that part would be dangerous, because then you'd have somebody who could manipulate it a little bit and so on. But if I took, at a card shop, it would be great. And it would be a great show of faith to small card shop owners, because you'd go in, you'd buy your hobby box, you'd rip this really nice card, you'd throw it right in the machine, put your $20 in. Doesn't matter how big the card is, it would cost the same, because you're simply paying for the grading and the slab and the sticker and whatever. But it could have all their holograms and do all that stuff. But you put your $20 in, you'd put your flawless 3 logo man LeBron James in there, and boom, out pops your authenticated PSA 9, PSA 8, whatever card, and you're good to go. You could even maybe do a raw card review. You could stick it in there, stick the card in there, put $5 in, and it'll do a raw card review. It'll say, hey, just a quick look at this. I think it's going to be a 9. Great. Now I'm committed. A nine's good enough for me on that card. Boom, put my 20 bucks in, grade this thing. And then it goes through like a full grading process. I just think that would be amazing. I think it'd be great for the card shop owners. It would be some amazing videos because you could literally, as a content creator, I try to think of those angles too. But I walk into the card shop, I buy this high end $4,000 a box product. I get this great rip out of it. I video myself taking it over to the machine, flopping it in, put my $20 bill in, and boom, you get your PSA 10. You're walking out the door. There you go. Or hell, sell it to the card shop or put it online right away. Who knows? I just think that I think the flow of business and grading is ridiculously slow and overpriced. And I think there's going to be a better way to do it. And as more competitors come in and make it quicker, and you see more AI grading focused companies, which I even get ads on my Facebook, saying, here, grade with this AI company. It's cheap and quick and blah, blah, blah. There's going to be more and more pressure to do that. I'm just trying to pull this chat back up. Come on now. There we go. And, I don't know. That way, your grading costs are dictated by the expected cost of the card. Grading itself shouldn't cost more depending on how much it sells for. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Zach. So I think it'd be a much more fair way to do it. And, like, let's say for this card, for example, I don't freaking know how much it's worth. I mean, I even, asked you guys and I didn't have anybody spit anything out at me. So I say it's worth 25 grand. Well, I send it in and let's say it grades a PSA 10 and they're like, oh, we don't know. Maybe this could auction at for 50 grand and we're going to charge you this. And it just seems like a really stupid game that doesn't need to be played. It's extremely easy to set up a robot that looks at centering on a card, size of card, if there's any surface issues, if the corners are soft, like it wouldn't be a hard thing to set up. Maybe having an automated, sonic sealer machine and then it, spits the card out and takes your 20. Maybe that's a little more complicated. I don't know. That's not anywhere near my field of expertise, but I think that's the route it really needs to go. And then I think whoever kind of comes to that game first, I think really has a stronghold in it and it's going to explode because you could literally grade stuff right there. I could go through the dollar box at my local LCS and pull out, $20, $1 cards that I think, would grade really well and go pop them in the machine and do a raw grade review on it or get it slabbed right away. I don't know. I mean, you could have one at a card show. How cool would that be? Just like I've seen at some card shows, they do like the portable ATMs, right? Where it's just an ATM set up for the day so people can get cash and put a grading machine in there. I mean, it would go bonkers. So you have all these people walking around dealing in raw cards or, cracking out other cases, whatever your game is, and boom, you throw them right in those machines and you get them graded. I mean, unbelievable. Some people might even buy a machine, if you have enough cards where you'd want to grade it, I think what they'd have to be careful is they want to make sure that there's how do I want to put this? We want to make sure that there would be sort of integrity, I guess is the best way to put it. So you wouldn't want these machines to be in like an individual's hands or maybe they could tamper with it or put in whatever labels. I don't know. I don't even know how you do that. Maybe you do it as like maybe the paper would only be thermal. You could only print thermal on it, so you couldn't type in whatever you wanted on it. I don't know. But yeah, if you had a really big dealer or a really big card reseller or something like that, they might even foot the 40 grand or whatever this machine costs to have their own where they can just feed raw cards in it all day. Now, that being said, you get a lot more cards graded. They would grade a lot faster. Does that devalue the graded cards? Maybe yes, maybe no. I think you'd have more of a market that would be into graded cards other than the investor types. I think your registry would really explode and you'd have a lot more people participating in that. I think you'd have a lot more accurate counts of populations. And I think people getting their cards graded a lot more affordably would slow down some of these Prism based rookies selling for $300 as a PSA 10, which makes no sense. Although the market's sort of corrected a lot of that at this point anyway. But I would really like to see it just become more of a everyman's game versus. I mean, let's say you got a 52 mantle, right? Let's say you figure it's a PSA 3 or a PSA 4. You obviously want that card graded. That's not something you would want to keep raw. But if I go to send it into PSA, first of all, you're going to pay the most express you possibly can because you don't want that card out of your hands more than a month tops, right? And then you got all the insurance, and you can't do walk-ins anymore. They don't take any walk-in submissions, so you can't like fly there and bring it in and sit around on the table with a cup of coffee until it's done and take it home. You're gonna spend what, $5,000 or something like that grading that card. I don't know. It just seems insane, and I know a big part of it is the insurance and PSA's guaranteeing the resale value because of authenticity and things like that, or they'll pay you out and they have to pay insurance policy. I get a good chunk of that, but there's no way that there isn't a better, more affordable way to put that together. So that's my $29.10 version of where I think grading is and should go. And I'd love to see it get there. Tabletop grading machines, if they could guarantee the integrity of it, no way to um, manipulate it, and you just simply feed in your blank, uh, slabs. I think that would be great. I have the 72 Fisk, but it's part of my Cecil Cooper collection. LOL. So you collect Cecil Cooper. Interesting. I could take a rise break here. This is my go-go juice. If I can find it. This stuff's hard to get. Well, like a lot of things, it's hard to get in a store. So why Cecil Cooper? What I remember about Cecil Cooper, and I'm not a Brewers fan, I'm a Cubs fan, so don't shoot me, but I do live in Wisconsin, so I've seen the Brewers play quite a bit. But what I remember from Cecil Cooper when I was a kid was the goggles, the glasses, and Coop was no slouch. Yeah, and so I have no idea how he played or anything. I know he played for a while. I think he was a catcher, right? I think he caught at least for a while. But yeah, I remember those. I remember the eyewear. That's what always sticks out in my head. You know, um, that's like if you think about Rodman, you don't really first base. First base. Okay. Um, but when you think about Rodman, you think about the weird hairdos and the nose piercings and all that kind of stuff. He'd have like the Bulls logo painted in his head and wearing wedding dresses on the weekends and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. But I think that just makes that kind of character stand out, which usually does help in card values. Got to be a good player first and foremost, but a lot of times a little controversy, a little eclectic style, a little outgoing personality, dating models and things like that, actresses, whatever, that tends to kind of solidify your values a little bit and your collectability too. So all right, so we're 1 hour and 3 minutes into this, and so I think I'm gonna call that for tonight. It's about 8:30 my time, and my daughter has her first day of summer school tomorrow, and I have the luxury of taking her there tomorrow, so I'm really excited about it. She's pretty excited about her classes. She has a class all about tacos. I mean, I want to go. Like, why wasn't there a taco class when I was a kid? So anyway, but I want to thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this on the upload later on, thanks again for watching. Hopefully you can catch us live next time. I'm going to do this every Monday night, probably about 7-ish. It's going to depend a little bit on, I do have a real job. It's going to depend a little bit on when I get home and get the dinner going and all that good stuff. But I'm going to try to do Monday night around 7. So mark your calendars. If you can join me, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate it. Otherwise, like I said, you can always watch it on the upload as well. So Thanks again. Like, subscribe, leave comments, and we'll see you again soon.